We've got ourselves somebody upset with brutal honesty in the National Football League. Joe Flacco is back with the Cleveland Browns, and he's back with the Browns, and he's in this quarterback competition with Kenny Pickett, and he's got Shedeur Sanders, and he's got, Dylan Gabriel, and he's got all these other things that are going on there, and then you've got Deshaun Watson, then that whole thing's awkward. It's just, there's a lot going on with Cleveland. It's why I've said, if you were to ask HBO, listen, we know you're having the Bills for Hard Knocks. Who do you want? They'd want the Browns. Like, there's way too many storylines, way too many interesting things that could go and could play out there in Cleveland this offseason, especially at training camp. And so, people have maybe taken an issue with something Joe Flacco had to say recently. Chris Canty, who played with Joe Flacco in the NFL, was not happy about Flacco's remarks and, him being a mentor and so on and so forth. And in case you were wondering what exactly Joe Flacco said, he said exactly what he should have said. He said exactly the truth. He was nothing but honest. Let's take a listen.
It's a good question to bait somebody into answering, and no matter how they answer it, it kind of makes the guy that's answering it look bad. If I say I don't want to be a mentor, I look bad. If I say I do want to be a mentor, then I look like an idiot that doesn't care about being good and playing football. So it's one of those questions that no matter what I say, you guys can write what you want to write about it. And there's a lot of questions like that. That's why you end up having to try to avoid them. I tend to try to be honest, and I've said I'm not a mentor. I play football. And in a quarterback room, there's a lot of times there's been a ton of times where there's learning experiences, and I have a lot of experience, and I can talk on things, and hopefully they listen. But it's not necessarily like my job to make sure they listen to me. And hey, hopefully you have a really good relationship with the guys that are in the room, and you naturally want to do that.
He's 100% right. Nobody should have an issue with what he said. They're 100% correct. Yeah, look, hopefully they'll listen. I'm going to show them, but I'd also like to get ready. I would also like to, I'd also like to be the starter here. It isn't his job to mentor other players and to sort of, if they've got a question, he'll help them out along the way. But Joe Flacco looks at this and goes, no, this is an opportunity for me to play again. I have an opportunity here to show that we'll get out of the way. You're older. What about, the next guy? You've got a no. If you're Joe Flacco, you look at it like this. Hey, man, I was sitting on the couch. I got a call because you needed help at quarterback a couple of years ago because Deshaun Watson got hurt again. I came in and in 5 games played so well that I got comeback player of the year over a guy who almost died on Monday Night Football. I'm sorry. I don't look at this as me being a mentor. Sorry, I don't look at this as, hey, how can I go about providing wisdom so that this guy can take my job eventually? No, I look at this and go, I realize there's only a short amount of time left. I realize I only have limited opportunities left in my career. I'd like to actually, play some more good football and focus on being the starting quarterback here. Nobody should have any issue with what he said. That's the truth. Nobody should have any issue with what Joe Flacco said in regards to being a mentor. And in fact, he gave a very reasoned response. Look, I'm not going to win either way. If I say I want to be a mentor, it shows that I'm not caring about my own performance. If I say I don't want to be a mentor, it makes it seem like I'm selfish. You can't win. And he's right. Sometimes the best thing you can do is lead by example. That's one of the things I've learned as a parent. Man, I could tell my son over and over again the same thing over and over again. I could do it every single day, and he's still going to make mistakes, or he's going to drop something, or he's going to bump into something, or he's going to trip and fall. And then I'll see him do things and say, what are you doing there, bud? Well, that's what you do. Sometimes you just lead by, you don't have to say anything. So if you're Joe Flacco, I'm not worried about whether or not these guys are ready to go when I walk away. Think about it if you're Joe Flacco. He doesn't need to keep playing financially. He's got a family. He's got a Super Bowl ring. He's had a really, really good career. Really good career. He knows what that world is like when it comes to the veteran quarterback and the new guy coming in. He was there when Lamar Jackson came in. He's the guy who got benched midseason so Lamar Jackson could be the starter and they could get a glimpse of the future. And what has he seen happen? Oh, nothing. Couple of MVPs later, and he's been down that road before. So he looks at this and goes, man, I know how this league is. I know what this world is like. I had a cup of coffee with the Jets. That went about as well as you could expect. I get to Cleveland. I have a hell of a year in limited time. For some reason, they make the decision to move off from me and move away from me. Right? Whether Deshaun Watson felt threatened the following year or whatever happened. He goes to Indianapolis. He's got to be brought in again because Anthony Richardson decides in the middle of a series, nah, I need a playoff. And then Flacco gets brought back to Cleveland, and he's got him, Kenny Pickett, who they traded for, and 2 quarterbacks they drafted. Flacco's looking around going, guys, I've seen every circus and every circus tent that's popped up in the NFL over the past 3-4 years. I don't need any direction on how to operate and I especially don't need any direction on how to operate or how to represent myself and my craft to anybody I've been around since I walked away from Baltimore. Think about the situations Joe Flacco has been in. The Jets, the Colts, and the Browns twice. You know what I mean? He went to the Jets. That's a clown show. He went to the Browns because they needed help. Wins comeback player of the year, is not brought back. Goes to Indianapolis. The starter and next guy in line to be the future of the franchise takes a playoff in the middle of a series. Flacco gets thrusted in and out of the lineup there, and then he comes to Cleveland. They're drafting 2 quarterbacks, trading for one, and they got another one who may or may not have re-ruptured his Achilles dancing on TikTok. If I'm Joe Flacco, I'm telling everybody, kiss my ass, I got it. I don't need direction from you. I know how to handle this, and he's handling it exactly the way he should.